Good afternoon, Keluarga Malaysia. I'm Mohana Priya and welcome to Updates at Noon. Making the headlines today, the manhunt ongoing as 96 Rohingya detainees still at large. Relaxed visiting policy announced for government health facilities. Police are continuing with the operations to track down 96 of the Rohingya detainees who escaped from the Sungai Bakap Immigration Detention Depot on Wednesday. Kedah Police Chief Commissioner Wan Ahmad said at 6 a.m. today, 76 men, 9 women, 7 girls and 4 boys are still at large. In a statement today, he said that so far 432 Rohingya escapees have been recaptured, comprising 218 men, 88 women, 65 boys and 61 girls. Commissioner Wan Hassan urged anyone with information on the detainees to contact the nearest police station. He also said 23 people are still being held at the depot. Early on Wednesday, 528 Rohingya detainees fled the depot, but 6 of them died after they were hit by a vehicle while crossing the nearby North-South Expressway. Malaysia will be making an appeal to the Saudi Arabian government to increase the quota for the Hajj pilgrimage this year. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dato' Idris Ahmad, said the appeal will be made as soon as possible.
Kita cuba merayu, tapi jaminan itu kita tak boleh. Kita cuba minta Allah, kita akan berusaha untuk nak melalui kedutaan kita dan juga tabung haji. Kurang-kurangnya kita minta kota yang 32,000 dulu. Kalau boleh lah kan, kita minta. Kalau ada negeri yang lain yang tolak sebagainya, kita harapkan boleh kita. Itu pun kita minta ihsan lah.
Yesterday, it was announced that only 14,306 Malaysian pilgrims are allowed to perform the Hajj this year, equivalent to a mere 45% of the normal quota of Malaysian pilgrims usually given by Saudi Arabia. The prospective pilgrims for this year are those aged below 65 years old, have no chronic illnesses and have been fully vaccinated and required to take the mandatory meningococcal shot. For the record, Saudi Arabia announced that 85% of the 1 million pilgrims allowed to perform the Hajj this year will be allocated for foreign pilgrims. This is slightly higher than the 75% in 2019. Meanwhile, Lembaga Tabung Haji (TH) will give priority to pilgrims whose Hajj turn was supposed to take place in 2020 to perform the pilgrimage this year. According to its Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Dato' Sri Amrin Awaluddin, this was followed by pilgrims who are scheduled to perform their pilgrimage in 2021 and this year. He said the Hajj turn selection was made based on the Hajj registration system, which was on the first-come, first-served basis. He added that the online Hajj appeal via the THI Jari mobile application had also been opened with priority given to those who appealed as mahram. Dato' Sri Amrin also advised prospective pilgrims to be prepared with the relevant documents, including their COVID-19 vaccination certificate and international passport. The Ministry of Health (MOH) will allow patients in wards at its healthcare facilities to be accompanied by their caregivers and to receive visitors from tomorrow. However, the ministry said the caregiver and visitor policies in MOH hospitals during the transition to endemic phase would be implemented based on certain criteria and subject to the capacity and capability of the respective hospitals and wards. In a released statement, the ministry said visitors and caregivers must be 12 years old and above, have completed the COVID-19 vaccination and do not belong to a high-risk group for COVID-19 infection. For caregivers of certain categories of patients who are required to undergo RTK antigen tests, they must do so within 24 hours before arriving at the hospital. The ministry further said for caregivers or visitors of non-COVID-19 patients, including those who accompany pregnant women during labour, October, they must undergo COVID-19 screening and test negative for the virus. It added visits from family members of non-COVID-19 patients in the ward, intensive care unit or in critical condition are allowed, but are limited to 2 visitors at a time. Only 1 caregiver is allowed to accompany non-COVID patients at the outpatient and emergency departments. For COVID-19 patients, the presence of a caregiver is only allowed for patients who require special care and child patients only. For that purpose, the caregivers are required to undergo a self-test and test negative for COVID-19 and must repeat the test if they develop any symptoms and before returning home. However, no visitors are allowed for COVID-19 patients except for end-of-life patients. The Agriculture and Food Industries Ministry is optimistic that Malaysia can potentially transform into a leading biodegradable hub in Southeast Asia through the partnership between local biotechnology firm Free the Seed, Sdn Bhd and Hotpack Packaging Industries LLC of the United Arab Emirates. Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ronald Kiandi said the collaboration involves the setting up of up to 10 new biodegradable packaging factories in Gurun, Kedah, worth 400 million ringgit over the next 10 years.
Hotpack merupakan satu syarikat antarabangsa yang mempunyai rantaian pemasaran yang luas oleh produk-produk yang sedia ada pada mereka. Jadi yang ini akan mengangkat produk Malaysia, teknologi Malaysia dari dalam pembungkusan biodegradable ini menggunakan jerami padi dan juga sumber-sumber yang lain di masa akan datang termasuk daun nanas dan sebagainya. Dan ini akan mengangkat teknologi dan produk Malaysia ke pasaran antarabangsa.
Datuk Sri Dr. Ronald said the investment will be 100 million ringgit for the first 3 to 5 years, and Hotpack plans to increase its investment to 400 million ringgit within 10 years. The construction of the first 3,200 square meter plant will begin next month and is expected to be completed in August this year. The investment is expected to create 300 direct job opportunities in the next 3 to 5 years, and the number will rise to 1,200 job opportunities among the skilled and semi-skilled workforce over 10 years. The Women, Family and Community Development Ministry has denied allegations that it took no action with regards to the neglect and abuse case of a teenage girl with Down syndrome known as Bella. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Rina Mohamad Harun, said among the actions taken was depriving Rumah Bunda founder Siti Bainun Ahmad Razali of her lawful right to custody of her adopted children last year. According to Datuk Sri Rina, discussions had also been held with Tunku Mahkota of Johor, Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim and his wife, Cik Puan Besar Khalida Bustamam, regarding the matter.
Banyak perbincangan yang kita bincangkan bukan sahaja berkaitan dengan isu Bella tapi juga isu berkaitan dengan kanak-kanak keseluruhan. Mana dalam perbincangan itu ada juga wakil daripada UNICEF. Jadi antara yang kita bincangkan adalah selain saya memaklumkan keadaan terkini adik Bella dan apa intervensi yang kita telah jalankan. Perbincangan dengan Tengku Mahkota Johor juga kita bincangkan apa lagi program-program di masa depan yang boleh kita adakan kolaborasi bersama.
She said her ministry had also imposed a seal order on the welfare home and issued a compound in July last year. Apart from that, the ministry had also tightened the law for adoption, with several amendments being made to ensure that such incidents do not recur. Meanwhile, Kuala Lumpur's Sessions Court Judge Israel Lizam Sanusi has warned the public against issuing any statement or making comments on social media regarding the ongoing trial involving Rumah Bunda founder Siti Bainun Ahmad Razali, who is charged with neglecting and abusing Bella. Judge Israel Lizam, who heard the trial proceedings, said he agreed that Malaysians have the right to freedom of expression, but legal action could be taken against those who go overboard in their postings on social media. He said the prosecution can take appropriate action against individuals that make slanderous comments, which are sub judice or contempt of court. He added the trial is still ongoing and the fifth prosecution witness, Yasmin Nahar Mahmud, had not finished testifying. Earlier, Deputy Public Prosecutor Nur Aziza Muhammad Ahmad told the court that there were comments related to the case made by the public on social media. Echoing the same sentiment, Datuk Baljit Singh Sidhu, the lawyer appointed by Tunku Mahkota of Johor, Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim, to hold a watching brief in the trial, said the issue also involved officers of the court. Siti Bainun, 30, had pleaded not guilty to 2 charges of neglecting and abusing the teenager to the point of the victim suffering injuries and also emotionally. The offences were allegedly committed at a condominium in Wangsa Maju between February and June 2021 under Section 31(1)(a) of the Child Act 2001. News at 10 comes up at 10 p.m. on My Free Views saluran Berita RTM. Thank you for your company. I'm Mohni Priya. Have a great weekend.